हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। विभवरी शेषा आलोक प्रावेश, निद्राचारी उठो जीवा। विभवरी शेषा आलोक प्रावेश, निद्राचारी उठो जीवा। बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी, राम कृष्ण है ग्रीवा। बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी, राम कृष्ण है ग्रीवा। नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन, ब्राजेंद्र नंदन श्याम, पूतन गाठन कैटब साठन, जय दशारथि रामा। यशोद दूलाल गोविंद गोपाल, वृंदावना पुरंदरा। यशोद दूलाल गोविंद गोपाल, वृंदावना पुरंदरा। गोपी प्रिय जन राधिका रामण, गोपी प्रिया जन राधिका रामण, भुवन सुंदर बार। रावणांतकर माखन तस्कर, गोपी जन वस्त्रहारी। रावणांतकर माखन तस्कर, गोपी जन वस्त्रहारी। ब्रजेर राकल गोप वृंदाफल, चित्त हरि बंशीधारी। ब्रजेंद्र राकल गोप वृंदाफल, चित्त हरि बंशीधारी। योगींद्र बंदन श्री नंद नंदन, ब्रज जन भयहारी। योगेंद्र बंदन श्री नंद नंदन, ब्रज जन भयहारी। नाविन नीरद रूप मनोहर, मोहन बंसी बिहारी। नाविन नीरद रूप मनोहर, मोहन बंसी बिहारी। यशोदनंदन कंसनिषूदन, निकुंजरास विलासी। यशोदनंदन कंसनिषूदन, निकुंजरास विलासी। कादंब कानन रसपरायण, कादंब कानन रसपरायण, वृंद विपीन निवासी। आनंदवर्धन प्रेमानिकेतन, फूलसराजोजक काम। आनंदवर्धन प्रेमानिकेतन फूलसराजोजक कामा गोपांगना गण चित्त विनोदन समस्त समस्त गुण गण धाम गोपांगना गण चित्त विनोदन समस्त गुण गण धाम यमुना जीवन केळि परायण मानस चंद्र चकोर यमुना जीवन केळि परायण मानस चंद्र चकोर नाम सुधारस गावो कृष्णा जैसा राखो बचन मन मोरा नाम सुधारस गावो कृष्णा जैसा राखो बचन मन मोरा विभवरी शेषा आलोक प्रावेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हय ग्रीवा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे विभवरी शेषा आलोक प्रावेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हय ग्रीवा नाम सुधारसा गावो कृष्णा जैसा राखो बचन मन मोरा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय कलियुग पावन तुलसी महारानी की जय वृंदावन षड गोस्वामी की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय श्री राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ की जय The night has come to an end, and the light of dawn is entering. O Jiva, soul, arise and give up your sleep. Chant the holy names of the Lord Hari, who is the giver of liberation, the enemy of the Mura demon, the supreme enjoyer, the all attractive one, and the horse headed incarnation Hayagriva. Lord Hari, incarnated as the half man, half lion Narasimha, he appeared as a dwarf Brahmana named Upendra and is the killer of the Madhu demon. He is the beloved son of the king of Raja, Nanda Maharaja, and is blackish in complexation. He is the slayer of the Putana witch and the destroyer of the demon Kaitava. All glories to the Lord Hari, who appeared as Lord Rama, the king of Dasharatha. He is the darling of Mother Yashoda, the giver of pleasure to the cows, land and spiritual senses, and the protector of the cows. He is the Lord of the Vrindavana forest, the gopis beloved, the lover of Radhika, and the most beautiful personality in all the worlds, Bhuvana Sundarabhara. As Ramachandra, he brought about the end of the demoniac king Ravana. He stole the older gopis' butter. He stole the younger gopis' clothes while they were bathing in the Yamuna. He is the cowherd boy of Vraja and the protector of the cowherd boys. He steals the hearts of all and always holds a flute. Vamsidhari. Lord Krishna is worshipped by the best of the yogis and is the son of Nanda. He removes all the fears of the inhabitants of the Vraja. He is the color of a fresh rain cloud and his form is enchanting. When he wanders about playing his flute, he looks very charming. He is the son of Yashoda and the killer of King Kamsa, and he sports in the Rasa dance among the gurus of the Vraja. Krishna engages in this Rasa dance underneath the Kadamba trees, and he resides in the forest of the Vrindavana. He increases the ecstasy of his devotees. He is the reservoir of all love and is a transcendental Cupid who uses his flowered arrows to increase the loving desires of the gopis. He is the pleasure of the gopis' hearts and the abode of all wonderful qualities. Samasta Gunagana Dhama. Lord Krishna is the life of the river Yamuna. He is always absorbed in amorous pastimes, and he is the moon of the gopis' minds, which are like the chekora birds that subsist only upon moonlight. O mind, obey these words of mine, and sing the glories of Sri Krishna in the form of these holy names, which are full of nectarian mellows. Rakho Vachana Manamora. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for the opportunity to sing for the pleasure of the divine couple. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'm done, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. We begin with today's class, starting with the invocation prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्णवानसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जयतां सुरतोपंगर्मम मंदमतिर्मति श्री अक्षरपश्य पदाम्बुज राधा मदन मोहन दिव्याद वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद रत्नांगर सिंहासन स्थितो श्रीमद राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालिपि सेव्यमानं स्मरा श्रीमान रासरसारंभी वंशी भट्टतटस्थित दर्शन वेणु स्वनेर गोपीर गोपीनाथ श्रीअस्तुना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. Now with this let us offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमने गौरवतिसे नमः. O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. कृष्ण वर्णम तुषा कृष्णम संगोपांगस्त्र पार्षदम यज्ञ संकीर्तन प्राये यजन्ति सुमेधसा. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companion. नाना शास्त्र विचारण के निपुण षडधर्म संस्थापको लोकानां हितकारिणो त्रिभुवनै मान्य शरण्यकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजनान आनंदेन वत्तालिको वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskutya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. With this, once again, I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. We'll start Bhakta Maal series, the biographies of the saints of the past. I had given the introduction last time, and in the introduction, we have already heard the Mahatmya of Bhakta Maal, how it is that Lord, the Supreme Lord himself, he hears the biographies of the saints wherever they are recited. That is what is the Mahatmya. Then one may be thinking, now we are going to discuss about the devotees today, and he has not yet logged in our system. How he is hearing? Now, as we know, he has got inconceivable energy. He can know, he can read it, he can hear everything what we are seeing. With this, let us start with the session today. Before I begin with the two personalities today, that is Madalsa and Silpil devotees, these names and terms you would not have heard ever. But these are such great devotees. You will come to know when we finish speaking about them. But before that, regarding the glorification or the Mahatmya of Bhaktamal, I want to tell you another story. Last time I told you two stories. Today I will tell you another story. What happened? There was one Vaishya. Vaishya means business class man who used to do small time business. And once he had come in the assembly of the commentator of Bhaktamal, that is Priyadas, and he heard about Bhaktamal, the various devotees and all that, and he was very much impressed with that. Then he asked Priyadas, can I have a copy of Bhaktamal? Now, at that time, there was no printing press. What used to happen, if you wanted to have a book, then you have to note it down. Now, Priyadas, he asked this person who was also not very much literate, asked him, why do you want to have this book? He said, I do not know how to read properly, and I do not have any interest in, cannot speak about these devotees also, and I cannot do much, but I want to keep it in my house so that I can see it, I can offer obeisances to it. because I know that wherever Bhaktamal is there, all the devotees who are mentioned there, they physically stay there. And Priyadas was very much impressed. He copied the Bhaktamal and gave a copy to this man. Now this man took it with him to his home, and he kept it somewhere. He never read it even once. But what he used to do, once in a while, he used to pay obeisances, and he used to see it once in a while. So that is what was happening. Now, what happened one day, his time was about to finish in this material world. The Yamadutas came, and he could see, because at the time of death, when the Yamadutas come, one who is dying, he or she will be able to see them. Now he was able to see the Yamadutas. Then he got very much frightened, but he remembered that he has got a Bhaktamal, and he had told his sons, daughters, all his relations about it. Then he gave some indication that this Bhaktaval book should be brought and kept on my chest. Now they also understood it, and they brought that Bhaktaval book and kept on the chest of this person. Now what happened suddenly? All the Yamadutas, they suddenly disappeared, and he became perfectly all right. Then he told this story to his relations, that now he is seeing all the devotees in front of him, and they are blessing him. And after some time, what happened? He left his mortal body, and the devotees themselves came to take him to the spiritual world. So that is what is the Mahatmya of this Bhaktamal. It is very much respected in Ayodhya and Vrindavan. And since we are also going to study the various personalities, we should be aware of all these things, all these Mahatmya. Now, let us start with today's class. We'll be starting with Madalsa, the ideal mother. But before that, I want to tell something. One may be thinking of why the devotees are so important, where it is given, how we can be very sure that this what we are studying about the devotees, that is so very important. It is more important even than the Supreme Lord. Now, about this question, there are many, many proofs given in so many literatures, given in the Puranas, given in Srimad Bhagavatam, given in Ramayana, given in Mahabharata, everywhere. But I want to just tell the one proof. That proof is, there is one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which is repeated thrice in slight changed form also, but it is the same verse spoken by different personalities. It is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that we'll see, and we'll see what it means. Now, this is the first verse. It is given in the 10th canto, 48th chapter, 31st verse. Now here Krishna is telling Akrura. What is he telling? Nayam mayani tirthani nadeva mruchilamaya te punanti urukalena darsanad eva sadhava. Now what is the meaning of this? Akrura is being told by Krishna that no one can deny that there are holy places and sacred rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, like this. And also there are demigods who also appear in deity form, made of earth and stone. But these things, they purify the soul only after a long time. It takes a very long time. Like somebody says, I'll take bath in Ganga, I'll be purified. Yes, you'll be purified, but not by taking bath once. It will take many, many years, long time. Whereas saintly persons purify just by being seen. If you see a saintly person, then you are purified instantly, straight away. There is nothing more about it. It doesn't take more time than the other things. This is first instance. The next we'll see. It is in the 10th canto, 84th chapter, the 11th verse. It is also the same verse. Nahyam mayani tirthani nadeva mruchila maya te punanti urukalena darshanad eva sadhava. Now, who is telling this? This is being told by Krishna where at Kurukshetra. You know that during the solar eclipse in Kurukshetra, the Brajavasis, they had also come, the people from Dwaraka, they had come. There also he is telling that mere bodies of water are not the sacred, real sacred places or of pilgrimage, nor are mere images of earth and stone the true worshipable deities. These purify only after a long time, but saintly persons, saintly sages, they purify one immediately upon being seen. That means if you have just had a look at the saintly person, then you are purified instantly. There is no time bar. And the third is there is a slight change in the same verse in the third line, third and fourth line. Naiham mayani tirthani na devas chetanadjita te punanti urukalena yujam darsana matrena. Now, mere bodies of water do not constitute holy places, nor are lifeless statues of the demigods are actually the worshipable deities, because external vision fails to appreciate the higher essence of these holy rivers and holy places. It takes a lot of time to purify oneself. But the devotees, like you, purify immediately just by being seen. And this is being told by whom? This is being told by Krishna only. So all these things we come to know that the devotees, they are very, very important. They are most important, and we should respect them. And the best thing is to hear about them, know about what they have done. And now we come to our actual story. We'll start with Mother Madalsa's story. This story is actually given in the Purana. We'll see which Purana and all that. Uh, there are 18 major Puranas, 18 minor Puranas. Out of them, in the Markandeya Purana, the story of Madalsa is given. Now, Madalsa was the daughter of Gandharvaraj Viswavasu. Now, she was exceptionally beautiful. She was so beautiful that even the demigoddesses, they used to be belittled in front of her. And also, she had all the good qualities a person should have. She had all of them. Then, regarding part of the story, when Patal Ketu had kidnapped her and all that, I am not telling that story. You can read that story in the Bhakta Maal only. But the essence of the story I will be telling you. Now, Madalsa, she got married to Ritudhwaj, or he is also known as Kubalayast. Kubalayast was the son of Sutrajit, and she had married her. Now, what was the specialty of her? Madalasa was herself a very self-realized soul. Hence, her words had a very great effect on everybody, including her children. And how she kept illuminating her sons with spiritual knowledge through her cradle songs, and how the sons grew up with wisdom. That is what is the essence of this story. Now, what he used to do, she had four sons. Now, when the first son was born, what she did, she brought him up in such a way that at the age of 4 to 5 years of age, he became totally renunciant, left the palace, and went to the forest to do his sadhana. Then for the second son also he did the same thing. And for the third son also he did the same thing. Uh, and when the fourth son was to be born, his name was Alarka. Now his father, that is the king Kubalaya, he requested Madalsa to spare at least one from his family who can become the king, who can look after the subjects in the country. Because all three, before him, all the three they have left for the forest for seeking the divine knowledge. And you may ask what she was doing so that these small children they could be self-realized even at the age of 4 to 5 years of age. Now, what the story of Madalsa is given in the chapters 25 to 30 of Markandeya Purana. Now, the song she used to sing whenever the baby cried is like this. Now, this says, Suddhosi Buddhosi Niranjanosi Sansara Maya Parivartatosi Sansara Swapram Tyajya Mohanidra Madala Satal Papubacha Putram. Now, what is the meaning? The meaning is, my dear son, you are Suddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. That means you are totally pure. There is no impurity in you. But how come this impurity has come and you are crying? Because crying is a dharma, or it is a nature of the material body only. And you are not the material body, you are the soul. You are the soul, spirit soul, which is totally pure. And this world is ever changing and is like a dream. So discard the Mohanidra, deep slumber. Now, what happened, as I said, the three sons, one after the other, at the age of 4 to 5 years, they left for the forest and went. Now, the king started thinking, who will take care of the kingdom after me? This was the constant worry of the king. Thereafter, he told his queen to spare their fourth son, whose name was Alarka, so that he could take the reins of the kingdom after him. Now, with the king's permission, she chose the name for the fourth son as Alarka. Now, to this son, Alarka, the mother Madalsa sang songs of valor that would make him a great warrior king and enabled him to protect the kingdom and make it very, very prosperous. In him, She showed the seed of care for others. She taught him to regard other women as his mother and think of the Supreme Lord Krishna or Murari to destroy all wicked thoughts. And thus Alarka grew up to be a righteous king and a mighty warrior. Thus, Mother Madalsa demonstrated that a mother wields great influence over the child from the start, and she can impart noble thoughts, and thus she guides his life towards righteous living. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the fifth canto, there is a verse. It says that one who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. That means for all these, the qualification is one should be able to teach the family members what is the aim of life, what should be done, and what should not be done. And as Prahlad Maharaj had said, it should be taught in the very, very early stage. One should not think that we should teach them once they retire from service, because that time, that is actually no time for any of these things. Therefore, so this is the responsibility of the guardians, fathers and mothers, and let us therefore be aware of our immense responsibility in bringing up our children, molding their attitudes and behavior, and most importantly, rendering them spiritually strong to lead a fear-free life of love and happiness. Now, let us hear the other part of the story. What happened thereafter? Now, once Alarka was installed as the king, the queen Madalsa requested the king that since our job is done, let us retire to the forest and take the name of the Lord, do bhajan kriya. They did this, and after many many years, when the brothers they came to know about that their parents also have they are in the forest, they searched for them and came to them. Then they asked the parents what we can do for you. Now the mother told, we do not want anything from you, but now I see that Alarka is already deeply entrenched in the material world. Please get him also out of the kingdom so that he can also seek the Supreme Lord, he can do the Bhajan Kriya. Now, the brothers, they went to Alarka and explained to him, but he was not in a mood to understand. He said, no, no, all of you are doing the Bhajan Kriya. My parents, father and mother, they are doing the Bhajan Kriya. What is the requirement of me doing? There is no requirement. Let me remain as the king. Now, these brothers, they had been given the instructions that they should use any means to get him out of the kingdom. Now, they thought of another plan. What they did, they went to their maternal uncles, who were also kings in the neighboring countries, and they went to some other kings, also neighboring countries, and all of them they came with huge armies and attacked Alarka's kingdom. Now the state was, his capital was totally surrounded by lakhs of soldiers, and when Alarka's his generals came to know, they went to the field and took a survey, and they realized that they are like the sea, and the Alarka's army was like just a handful of soldiers, and there was no chance of winning that battle. Then they asked the king, King Alarka, what should be done? He asked them, what is your advice? He said, you see, if you order us, then we are going to fight, we are going to give away our life, there is no problem in it. But we see that we cannot win, and there will be loss of life, loss of property, everything. And this is what is going to happen. Now, what Alarka did, he went to a secluded place and he started thinking, what should I done? Because this is the greatest danger which has come in my life. Then he suddenly remembered that his mother, while leaving for the forest, she had given him a taviz, and she had written a verse in that, and she had told him that whenever you are in the greatest danger, you take it out, you read that verse, and when you start understanding the meaning, your problem will be solved. There will be no problem in front of you. And he said, this is the greatest danger which has happened. So then he took out that taviz and read out what was written. What was written in that? It said, Sangha Sarvatmana Tyajya Sachet Yaktum Na Sakyate Sasai Sasadvi Sahakartabhya Kartabhya Satam Sango Hi Vesajam. Now, what basically it means, it says Sangha Sarvatmana Tyajya. That means Sangha means Asakti. Asakti means attachment. Attachment is bandhan, that is bondage. Hence, it is to be abandoned always. It should never be encouraged. But what happens? This attachment is with us because of our attachment to it in last so many births, so many lifetimes. Can we leave it just like that? So, what is the way? It says sasadvi sahakartabhya. Now, so what is that? You should do sangha, that is associate with Sadguru and the sadhus. That means we should take care, take shelter of the sadhus or saintly persons and guru. So, what Alarka said, okay, I am leaving this kingdom just now. Then his brothers, they appeared at that time in front of him. Alarka told them that I am going to the forest. But the brother said, before going, you put your son as the king. He said, no, I have already left. I do not want to go back. I do not want to see what I have left. I am leaving. If you want, you can put my son as the king. Then his brothers only then installed his son as the king. He went to the forest and he took shelter of Dattatreya Rishi. And you know Dattatreya Rishi, the things are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And thereafter he became a liberated Jivan Mukta. Now, this is one example of a mother who guided her son, and all of them they became the greatest devotees of the Lord, because in the beginning only Mother Madalsa had taken a vow that anybody who takes birth from my womb, he or she will not see this material world again. Now, in this context, if you think of Ravana, how he became a demon, he was not a demon from the very beginning. It was because of his mother. Ravana was the grandson of Pulyasta and son of Visrava Muni. And Visrava Muni was brother of Agastya Muni. And because of Ravana's mother Kaikeshi, she got envious of Kubera. Kubera was the son of another wife of his father, that is Edvida. And Edvida was the daughter of Bhardwaj Muni. because of that, she misguided her son, and Ravana finally, what he did, he became a demon only. So this is what happens if the father and mother they do not guide the children properly, and if they guide properly, like Madalsa or Suniti, Suniti's son was Dhruva, like this, then they'll achieve the highest end, and finally they can go to the spiritual world. And as we know, if they go to the spiritual world, then 21 generations they will be liberated by doing nothing. That means that is the contribution of the parents, what they can do. So this is what is the story of Mother Madalsa. Then I'll go through this second story. This is also very, very interesting. The Silpil devotees. Now, this story is given in Bhakta Maal. Now, actually, in Bhakta Maal, how these stories they came up, because Navadas, though he accepted the orders of his spiritual master, but he said, how can I write the life history of these devotees? Because if I leave somebody, then that will be an aparadha. Then his spiritual master told him that all these devotees they will appear in your heart, and whosoever appears, you write about him. Now, like this, all the devotees they had appeared in his heart, and he wrote about the life histories of all these saints. That's why there is no sequence of time or name or anything in Bhaktamal. They are given in the sequence in which they appeared in the heart of Navadas. Now, this is one of the stories. Silpilla devotees, you would not have heard this word. Silpilla is the assumed name of a lord which was given to the two devotees. This story we'll hear, and how they achieved perfection in this, and what was the proof. All these things we'll see. Okay, shall we start the story, or shall we have a 5 minutes break? Then we'll start the story. Now we'll have a 5 minutes break only. Then we'll start the story, because that is also very, very interesting story you would not have heard. And such stories they are given in the Bhaktamal, and that's why we should study the life histories of the saints and learn from them. And now the Silpilla devotees, they were not from any Vaishnava Sampradaya. They were not from any Sampradaya either. They were just small children, and how they were guided and how they came up to that level, that we'll see. But before that, let us have a 5 minutes break. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंड प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
प्रभु जी, आपने जो श्रीमद् भागवतम के 3 श्लोकों बताए है ना,
यस
तो
यस।
उनमें से तीसरा श्लोक का चैप्टर नंबर और कैंटो नंबर बताए प्लीज प्रभु जी।
अच्छा, इनका ओके ओके।
थर्ड वर्स का।
The first two were from the 10th canto, one from the 48th chapter, and the other was from the 84th chapter. And regarding the third one was 12th canto, 10th chapter, 23rd verse. 12, 10,
ओके प्रभु जी।
12, 10, 23.
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
So this is very important how one verse is there 3 times in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is one example. The third verse actually it is spoken by Sonaka Rishi to Vidura, not by Krishna.
प्रभु जी, even in first canto, I will find out there is a similar that गंगा में स्नान करने से सालों साल लग जाते हैं, मगर विदुर जी को युधिष्ठिर ने विदुर जी को बोला था।
Yes,
ऐसा ही श्लोक।
Yudhishthir Vidura Sambhadi, yes, it is also there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we'll start from where we left. Now, what happened? There was a king, and he had a daughter who was the princess, and there was another daughter of a landlord. They were friends. They used to play together and spend time together. Now, what happened one day? The spiritual master of the king, he came to the palace and he started worshipping his Salagram Sila. When these two children, they were allowed to sit before him and see what was happening. Now they also saw that the Salagram Sila that was after taking bath, he was worshipped, and then prasad was offered, then prasad was distributed, like this. Now, seeing these two small children, they were very much impressed. They said that we would like to offer our service to this beautiful form of Shyamasundara Lord Krishna, who is in the form of a Salagram Sila. So kindly give us your Salagram Sila to us. Now, this spiritual master, Sadhu, he could not have given the Salagram Sila to these young children, because the children that do not know anything how to serve the Lord and all that. Now, seeing that, although they were very, very young girls, but the spiritual master saw that they had a pure heart and had a pure love for the Lord, and therefore, the spiritual master, what he told them, what he said, he got two rounded stones from the river and gave it to these two children, two girls. And they asked him, what is the name? Now he said, the name of these stones, it is Silpille. Now you should serve him with every day with very much great care and attention, and you have acquired a desire to serve the Lord. So this is very, very auspicious and will lead you to liberation. They hardly understood what was being told to them, but basically they were told to serve this stone which was named Silpille, and all their desires will be fulfilled. Now, though by the order of their spiritual master, both the girls began worshipping the Lord, so that they should be, what happened very soon, they became very much attached to rendering service to him. Now, the Lord, in the form of Salagrama Sila, accepted their devotional service because of the purity in their heart. And it is the nature of the Supreme Lord, who is the most magnanimous personality we know, that if anyone worships him with pure and simple heart, he becomes very, very easily accessible. And he gives away. He becomes a servant of the devotee. This is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam that you know. Now, thus, these two children, because they were totally pure and there was purity in their devotion, they were able to please the Supreme Lord. Now, here the other part of this story, which is very, very interesting, and that is what is the gist of this, what I am going to say. Now, the second the girl, the children, they also grew up of marriageable age, and let us first hear about the girl who was a daughter of a businessman. Now, this girl, she was staying with one of her two brothers, but these two brothers, they were inimical to each other. Now, once the brother with whom she was staying, he was attacked by the other brother, by very many persons, and indeed, the attacking brothers' supporters beat up and plundered everything he had in his house, and not only his house but many people in the village also. Then everyone suffered very, very greatly, and the brother who was attacked lost all his possessions, and the deity, that is Silpilla deity belonging to this girl, this was also stolen. Now, as a result, she felt a terrible distress within her heart, because she would not be able to render any service to him, to her worshipable Lord, Silpille, and indeed she stopped eating and drinking also. Now, although people tried to pacify her, she was so aggrieved that she did not pay any attention to their words. She didn't listen to anybody. Finally, people advised her that both the brothers are equal and the other brother has nothing against you, but amongst themselves they are inimical to one another. But both of them, they treat you respectfully. Therefore, you should go to your brother and bring back your deity. If you have faith and patience, you will be certainly successful in your attempt. Now, therefore, this girl, what she did, she went to the village where her other brother stayed. And at that time, her brother was sitting comfortably with apparently nothing to do in front of his house only. And this girl, that is his sister, when approached, she explained her distressed condition and begged for the worshipable Lord. Now the brother said, you go inside the room and you find there are many deities present in the uh, temple, in my temple. And if you can recognize your deity, you can take him. Now, upon hearing this, one of the brother's friends that teased this girl, saying that if you are so powerful, then call your Lord from here. There is no need to go to the temple or inside the house and recognize your Lord. Now, after hearing this, the girls, the eyes became totally moist due to excessive love and devotion for the Lord. And at that same time, her heart was breaking because of separation from the Lord. And she was already distressed, but she felt greater pain after hearing these taunting words. Now, in great distress, she called out to her Lord as if she were about to give up her life. Now, upon hearing her loving appeal, the Supreme Lord, in the form of Salagram Sila, that is Silpille, he arrived there and embraced this devotee. And so all her distress was were instantly removed. Indeed, she felt supremely fortunate and she had achieved the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Now, the brother and the other pious person said that we are so very fortunate that our devotee sister has come to our house and we are fortunate to see her ecstatic symptoms of the Supreme Lord. And they also came to feel devotion to the Supreme Lord. And thereafter, this devotee, that is girl, took her Lord and returned home, and she was feeling very happy. And after this incident, both the brothers they united. There was no more any tussle amongst them. Thus, with her devotion to the Supreme Lord, she could unite both the brothers. And see, the spiritual master had given them a stone only. It was not a the Salagram Sila. It was just a stone only. But this girl took that stone to be the Supreme Lord and rendered service with devotion, with faith. And that's how the Supreme Lord came to her. Now let us hear the other story. Hear about the young princess. The young princess was also fully devoted to the Supreme Lord. Her mind, speech, actions, they were all dedicated to the Lord. And she had no desire to enjoy any worldly happiness. She was fully detached from any materialistic way of life. Her mind constantly remained absorbed in the service of Lord Silpille. Now, by the arrangement of providence, the princess was married to a man who was godless, who had no faith in the Supreme Lord, and his family members were also like that. Now, when her godless husband came to take her to his house after the marriage, now she was emotionally overwhelmed and started thinking about how to transform him so that he also could become a devotee of the Lord. Now her family members duly bade the farewell to this girl and she was going to her husband's house. She was always in her unique devotional mood, and while she was going also she was in this mood and she was alone, for there was no companion to accompany her to her in-law's house. And there was only one person to help her, and that was the Supreme Lord. And on the journey, what happened? Her husband came by her side and began speaking to her, but his suggestions were not at all to her liking. She became very nervous and said, "Please do not come near me. I am already in distress." Now the husband of the young princess asked, "What are you suffering from? Please tell me so that I can quickly make some arrangement to give you relief. I had a great desire to meet you, and I am also nervous, and so kindly tell me so that I can make you happy." Now the devotee girl, she replied that if you wish to speak to me, then first you have to manifest devotion for the Supreme Lord within your heart. And without devotion to the Lord, you will have to remain far away from me. Do not even touch my body. Now, hearing this, the husband became angry and he thought that she is always thinking of the bag in which her worshipable Lord, the various paraphernalia for his worship, prayers for recitation, everything they are kept there. I should take the bag from her. Now, thinking like this man stole the bag and threw it in a river. And there was the river had great depth, and because as a result, the princess she experienced even greater distress, which caused her heart to burn with grief. And this was all due to separation from the Supreme Lord. Now, trembling due to anger at her husband, the princess refused all food and drink. Although her husband tried to cheer her up, since her lord who was everything for her was taken from her and thrown in the river, she could not be pacified. Finally, when they arrived at his house, the husband narrated the entire story to the other members of the family. Now, day by day, the princess' body became lean and weak, and seeing this, the family members they asked her, "Why are you so stubborn?" Her mother-in-law tried to pacify her, even tried to feed her with her own hands, but she refused to eat anything. What to speak of eating? She even refused to talk to her husband's family members. She had palpitations of the heart because of separation from the Supreme Lord, as her condition worsened day by day. Now, finally, the in-laws said that we fall down at your feet. Whatever you say, we'll do. Then, hearing this, the young princess said, "Only if my Lord Silpil returns to me will I be able to continue living. Otherwise, I am not going to live." Now, thereafter, the princess, along with her in-laws, went to the shore of the river where her bag was thrown inside the river. However, while remembering her lord, she began to spin and she suddenly fell down unconscious to the ground. Now the tears flowed from her eyes, and with great difficulty, she called out the Lord of her life, Silpille. Now, just as a lusty person remains under the control of lusty desires, Lord Shyamsundara he remains under the control of his devotees who love him. Now, as soon as he heard the princess, her pathetic prayers, the Lord came and embraced his devotee, and the box also appeared before the princess. Now, when the husband and the mother, husband, mother-in-law, father-in-law, the other family members, they saw this wonder, their minds became totally purified of all material contamination, and they had no doubt about the efficacy of devotion to the Lord. And they realized that without devotion to the Lord, their lives were simply useless. In this way, the young devotee princess converted all the family members into devotees of the Supreme Lord. And from that time onwards, they engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. And they understood that the presence of their daughter-in-law would bring auspiciousness inside their house. Now, this is what is the story of this Silpilla devotees. Now, let us hear about one verse which is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto, 29th chapter, 27th verse. Sravanad darshanad dhyanam mai bhavo ankirtanad na tatha sannikarsanena pratiyata tato graham. What is the meaning? The meaning is transcendental love for the Supreme Lord. The Lord is saying arises by devotional process of hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating on me, and faithfully chanting my glories. The same result is not achieved by mere physical proximity. So please go back to your homes. As you know, this 29th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the Rasa Panchadhyaya starts from the 29th canto, the Rasa Panchadhyaya, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. These 5 chapters. Here, once the gopis came, Krishna, he was telling them, "You go back to your homes." Now, this is what is more important. The Lord is telling the devotees that you please go back to your home, because by having proximity to me, if you think that you will be able to win me, that is not true. So this is what we should understand. Like learn from the Silpilla devotees, they never wanted the Supreme Lord in front of him, but his deity form they worshipped with faith and worshipped with devotion. Then at the end they achieved total perfection, and the Supreme Lord was so much pleased that he came to these two devotees. So with this I end today's session. Now, let us talk about these devotees and many other things, because we have got lot of time. And from next time onwards, I will give the fresh schedule of the classes that will carry on. The first class is by Samta Mataji, and followed by others which is given in the schedule. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So wonderful class, Prabhuji. So inspirational. प्रभुजी दोनों बेटियों का नाम क्या था?
नाम तो that is not given in Bhakta Maal.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Names, name of the king or name of the landlord, they are not given.
और प्रभु जी जो फर्स्ट स्टोरी थी उसमें जो किंग बेटा था अलार का, तो वो अपने माँ बाप को के साथ क्यों नहीं चला गया? वो अलग दत्तात्रेय को वर्शिप करने लगा। उनके माता पिता जो इतने थे, इनकी माता पहले से उनको स्पिरिचुअलिटी में लाई थी, तो उनको ही ज्वाइन नहीं किया और उन्होंने दूसरे दत्तात्रेय जी को वर्शिप करने लगे कि सब लोग दत्तात्रेय जी को वर्शिप करने लगे।
Okay, but I'll just recount what we said. When the other sons they went to the forest, his father he requested the queen to spare one son so that he can look after the kingdom. That's why in the science of or the art of the statesmanship, statecraftship, this last youngest son, Alarka, he was trained and he became the king. And after that, he was not thinking of leaving that post. He wanted to be there only as the king. He never wanted to retire to the forest and take to devotional service. So that's why his the parents they thought of getting him so that he can also realize the Lord, because mother also had promised that all my sons, anybody who takes birth from my womb, he will not see a mother's womb again. And she said, unless he retires to the forest, he takes to Bhajan Kriya, then my words will go wrong. That's why she had sent her sons to get Alarka out of the kingdom. So that is the reason. And as we learned, the best way is to follow the sadhus. And he decided to follow Dattatreya Rishi. There is no reason given in anywhere that why he did not go to his parents, but he went to the Dattatreya Rishi, took initiation from him, started Bhajan Kriya, and he also became totally liberated soul. And then he also went to the spiritual world. That is what her mother Madalsa had promised. Her promise was totally fulfilled in all respects. So this is what is the answer, Mataji.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी। एक दूसरा भी पॉइंट है अभी के, मतलब ये जो हम स्टोरी सुने हैं, तो हर एक माता का ये होना चाहिए कि हमें अपने बच्चे को सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन प्रोसेस में और डिवोशन में भेजना चाहिए। मगर जब माता ही अभी के टाइम में अगर माता ही जो डिवोटी नहीं है, तो वो अपने बच्चे के लिए क्या कर सकती है माता प्रभु जी? अभी अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं हूँ, अगर मैं ही इतनी लेट आई हूँ भक्ति में, तो वे मेरे बेटे को कैसे आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं? क्योंकि अभी वो बड़े हो गए तो वो अपना थिंकिंग रखते हैं, तो फिर वो कहते हैं कि अभी आप ही करो, जैसे वो बोलते थे ना अपने आगे की स्टोरी में कि आप करो, हम नहीं करेंगे। तो कैसे इसको आगे लेके जा सकते हैं प्रभु जी?
Yes, what has happened, almost all of us, we have come in this devotional path quite late in life. As uh, we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj said that one should be in this business at the age of 5 years. But we have come after much later. But whatever it is, now that we know our duty, we should try to do that. But what is the correct thing to learn? We should not think that what Madalsa did, we should do exactly that. Yes, like that only, but the times have changed. It is Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, one is not advised to leave the material world, retire to the forest, because there is no forest only. But take to Krishna consciousness or serving the Supreme Lord in so many ways. This we should teach our children, and hopefully they will learn. Because what is happening, what we are doing, that is totally dependent on our what we have done in our earlier lifetimes. Now, this will take a lot of time and effort also. We should do our job and let us leave everything to the Supreme Lord. He will leave the balance. You are very right. Like me also, I have come into this field much at a much later stage. Like many of you, I don't think any of you have come in this field at the age of 5 years doing devotional service. But that is what is the speciality of Kali Yuga. So after we have understood this thing, let us try to follow this. Let us try to tell our children so that they learn the correct thing, try realize that is what best we can do. I hope I have answered your question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, we will try our best. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
We should not think that our children should retire to the forest and they become sannyasis. No, that is not required in this Kali Yuga. But in whichever position they are, they should serve the Lord in many ways. And the most important ways are Shravanam Kirtanam. Now, for the Shravanam Kirtanam, there are so many methods also available in this modern world. Yes, if we have time, go and sit down where this satsanga is taking place. But you have to find that one who is speaking, he should be in the disciplic succession only, not anybody and everybody. Then the only things will fall in place. We should use our modern gadgets for that purpose. We should hear the various discourses made by the people, those who are in this path. So then the things will be all right. Then any other question or comment?
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Very nice, Prabhuji. We're learning so many devotees this week from you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Any other comment? Okay, if there are no comments, though there is a lot of time, but we'll end. Tomorrow we'll start with Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, first chapter, the first two verses. The first two verses, it will take the whole time. We'll try to understand what our acharyas say about the various aspects given in the verse, and you will realize that many things what we think and what the acharyas they think, they are so much different. And the only one thing I want to tell you, that you should always think that what is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is perfectly all right. There is nothing wrong in it. If we find any contradiction, it is due to our not understanding it. And we'll understand it if we read it with the commentary of our previous acharyas and not think that the things are contradictory in that anybody can write anything. No, that is not true. Because whatever is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is perfect. And there is no doubt about this. So with this,
प्रभुजी हरे कृष्णा वन पॉइंट प्रभुजी
yes, yes.
प्रभुजी आपने जो मदालसा जी माता ने जो 2 वर्सेस बोले थे शुद्धों से, वो आप ग्रुप में शेयर कर सकते हैं प्रभुजी? वो ग्रुप में शेयर कर सकते हो आप?
Yes, yes,
हम भी लर्न कर सकेंगे.
Okay, I'll share these two verses.
और प्रभु जी ये जो वर्सेस है वो किस कहाँ से लिए गए हैं, मतलब कोई रेफरेंस उसका कि कोई पुराण में से लिए गए हैं?
Okay, I'll give. It is given in Markandeya Purana also. In Bhakta Maal, the second verse is given. The first verse is not given. Actually, I listened to so many authorities on the subject of Bhakta Maal, and I gather all this information. That's why I share both these verses. But the second verse, it is given in the Bhakta Maal only. But this story, what I told you, in Bhaktamal, it is not given in that form. It is how Madalsa was kidnapped by Patal Ketu, and thereafter what happened, how Patal Ketu was killed, and she was freed, and all that. All those things are given. But what I told you is not there. That's why I keep on hearing the various authorities on the subject, and that's how I have brought this story. So this is what story I told you. That is actually the essence.
Prabhuji, you said you will be sharing the PDFs with us. The file that you are sharing, that you screen share for today's and tomorrow's class, you said you will be sending to us.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Actually, what is happening? I am not utilizing more energy, much more energy, like Charu Prabhuji in making the slides, because I also do not have the capability. And whatever little I can make, I am making. But the essence is that we should try to understand the whole thing. And whatever I have, I'll share. There is no issue about that. Any other point you want to share?
Prabhuji, this story of Madalsa mother in the Bhaktamal I read, but that kidnapping part was not there. Only the story of these 4 children, like how she prepared them for the higher objective of life. and the fourth one, the king Alarka, he refused, and then how she sent her, she requested elder brother to go and get him, and he did it with the help of the king of Kashi. Only that much is mentioned, but
Mataji, have you got that 4-volume book?
yes, Prabhuji, from there only.
There.
In the first, the Pratham Adhyaya, the first volume.
I think, yeah, it is in the first or the second volume, I think. And the page number, if I remember, 378 or around that only.
Yeah, in the second, like in the second half of the book, the story is there of Mother Madalsa, but that kidnapping part, that she was kidnapped by this particular, that was not there. I read it, and it was very short also, very brief.
I mean, but in many pages it is given. I think about 4 or 5 pages. Her story is given in this Bhakta Maal.
Okay,
Yes,
Prabhuji, I'll go through once more.
yeah. Yes. It is given in very great detail. So, but that part of the story I didn't tell, because the crux of the story, what I told you, that is the crux of the story. How she was a great mother, because what she did to her children. That is the thing.
Yeah, that the one you said today, that is only that, not that much only I read, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any
प्रभु जी, आपने जो फोन नंबर दिया है, जो हमने
Yes.
हमसे शेयर किए, तो अगर हम उनको फोन करेंगे तो वो हमें भेज देंगे बुक्स?
Yes.
Yes.
That is
Okay,
the one.
Prabhuji.
Actually, this book was out of print for quite some time, and I had been looking for the book. I got it some time back, and this is very authentic book. And as I told you, Navadas, who wrote this Bhaktamal, he was an incarnation of Lord Brahma, and Priyadas commented on it. He is from the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, in the line of Gopal Bhatt Goswami. And in Bhaktamal, the actual Bhaktamal and the commentaries, they are not seen separately. They are seen, the commentaries, they are considered same as the actual Bhaktamal only. That is what is the speciality about this. And this book, what I told you, it is in Hindi. It is very authentic and discusses many things in each of these. If I think if somebody can ever translate it into English, that more people like us can have access to that, because Hindi is a little time consuming for many of us who do not have it as their mother tongue. So this is a very good book. There is no doubt about
Is it
it.
available in English?
Yes, Mataji.
Is it available in English?
No, there is one version which is also available in English, written by ISKCON devotee, but I have got it also, but I have not liked, because many of the things they are factually not correct. What Priyadas has discussed, what Priyadas has said, and what actually it has been translated, I totally disagree. Like, I'll give you example also. Like in today's the class, I said the two girls, one was the daughter of a king, the other was daughter of a landlord. But in that book, it is written, she was the daughter of a sweeper. So like this, there are many inaccuracies due to some reason. Actually, better to read the Hindi version, even if it takes more time, because that is much more authentic. And I told you about the author also. That's why there is no more authentic version than this version. But it happens to be in Hindi only.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. नवदास जी is a incarnation of हनुमान जी और ब्रह्मा जी, प्रभु जी.
है?
आपने लास्ट क्लास में बोला था नवदास जी इज अ इनकारनेशन ऑफ हनुमान जी.
No, I did not say that, but yes, I said that because that thing is also given in the Bhaktamal only. I took out, but I also hear so many other authorities. They say he was also incarnation of Lord Brahma, because he was blind from the beginning. Why he was blind, that is also given. So all these things are given, and this can also happen. One can be incarnation of many also, more than one. That
Yes,
that
Prabhuji.
that can happen. If you read the Ganodesh Deepika also, it is also given. There are many devotees who are incarnations of many the other devotees and others. That is possible.
Okay,
Very
Prabhuji.
wonderful class, Prabhuji. Who is the author of this Bhaktmal?
Bhaktamal, as I said, the author is Navadas.
Navdas. Okay, only one author?
Only one author. Navadas only, and in the very beginning, as I told you, he wrote this at the age of about 12 years.
Oh, it has 4 volumes, na?
It is
4 parts, 4 volume. Volume.
this book, along with the commentary of Priyadas, it is by Ganesh Das Bhaktamali, that is of the Ramanandi Sampradaya, and that is in 4 volumes, and this is the most authentic version of Bhaktamal. Because if you read Navadas Bhaktamal or the commentaries of Priyadas, they are in Brajvasi. And Brajvasi we cannot understand properly. But
Yeah.
Hindi, to quite an extent, each one of us will be able to understand. It is totally understandable.
Okay,
But it takes a little more time to read. That is the only thing. English, we are more familiar with read it in no time. So
Prabhuji, yes. Prabhuji, मैं पूछ लूं कि ये इसके 4 parts हैं?
yes.
Okay. Written by Navdas.
Navadas, yes.
Navdas.
Navadas
Thank you,
is
Prabhuji.
the original writer.
Okay.
You see, this Bhaktamal was written generally around the year 1631 or so. Why
Okay.
I am saying 1631? In 1631, the Ramcharitmanas was written. And around that time only Bhaktamal came up. But it was commented by Priyadas about 100 years later. More than 100 years after Navadas went to the spiritual world.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Any other point? If there are no...
Prabhuji, that they have that Maharaj Navadas ji requested Priyadas Maharaj to write it in a poetic form so that it becomes very pleasing and relishing.
Yes.
So that language that they have used in the poetry is Braja language?
It is Brajvasi only.
Okay.
Because Priyadas was the Brajvasi only.
Okay, Prabhuji. Because I was not understanding that the verses that are there in that language, that it takes a lot of time to read those.
Yeah. They are in Brajvasi, and the third example, that is the story I told you about the Mahatmya of Bhaktamal. That was given by the grandson of Navadas only, Vaishnavadas. Like this, there is a connection.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. If there are no questions, then we can have then sing a prayers and conclude today's class. Sagar Prabhuji, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obsession. All go to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhai. Namaste Narasimhai. Prahlada Dahine. Prahlada Dahine. Hiranyakasipur Baksar. Hiranyakasipur Baksar. Silatankar Nathale. Silatankar Nathale. Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha. Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha. Ito Yami Ito Narsingha. Ito Yami Ito Narsingha. By Narsingha Hriday Narsingha. By Narsingha Hriday Narsingha. Narasimhamadin Saranam Prapade. Narasimhamadin Saranam Prapade. Tava Kala Kamala Bhare. Nakhadbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanubringam. Kesavadita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Tava Kala Kamala Bhare. Nakhadbhuta Singham Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanabringam. Kesavadhita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, चारु प्रभु की जय, शरद प्रभु की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, ऑल assembled devotee की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। शरद प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, thank you very much. Then we'll conclude today's class. I'll request all devotees to go through the verses 1 and 2 of 10th canto, chapter 1, along with the purports of Srila Prabhupada. That will help you in understanding better. Then thereafter, I'll give the commentaries of the other acharyas on that and what are the various regions and reasoning for each of the things and what things we'll discuss that we'll discuss that tomorrow. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much for attending and encouraging me. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
So
Dandavat
nice
Pranam,
introduction.
Prabhuji.
Thank you to all.